Assalamualaikum, bersama saya di Boris Ramda Hamzah bagi kursus DK Video Kursus 253 Management Process and Technology. Kali ini kita akan membincangkan tentang chapter yang ke-6, Method Remove Process Milling. Okay, what is milling? Okay, milling is a machining operation in which a work part is passed a rotating cylindrical tool in multiple cutting edge. Okay. Okey, kita ada proses pemesinan di mana dekat proses pemesinan ini akan melibat cutting tool, cylindrical cutting tool dengan multiple cutting edge. Dekat bawah dia ada multiple cutting edge. Seperti kita guna insert cardboard kan, susun pada kita punya face mill for example. Okay, in rare case, a tool with one cutting edge called as a fly cutting is used. Itu rare lah, jarang-jarang berlaku lah. Okay, so the axis of rotation of cutting tool macam gini. Okay, perpendicular with the axis of the feed. Okay, materi kita macam gini. Okay, so that is the maksudnya perpendicular to the direction of feed. Okay, so this rotation between the tool axis and the feed direction is one of the features that distinguish milling from drilling. Kalau drilling ni, dia masuk sini. Okay, dia masuk sini. Yang ni milling, okay, ni dia masuk sini. Sebab tu dia perpendicular. The cutting edge tool in milling called as milling cutter, and the cutting edge are called as the teeth. Cutting tool called as a milling cutter. Meanwhile, dia punya cutting edge kat bawah tu called as a teeth. Okay. The machine tool that traditionally perform this operation is a milling machine lah. Machine yang biasa digunakan disebut sebagai milling machine. Geometric form created by the milling is plane surface. Other work geometry can be created either by means of the cutter path of the cutter shape, owing the variety of shape possible at its high production rate. Milling is one of the most versatile and widely used machining operation. Okay, milling is an interrupted cutting operation. Okay, the teeth of the milling cutter enter and exit each revolution. Ada yang masuk, ada yang keluar. Ada yang masuk, ada yang keluar. Sebab tu dia bagi sebagai interrupted. Dia bukan single one. Okay, dia bukan satu proses yang kita kata habis satu, baru satu masuk. Tak. Satu potong, satu lagi keluar. Dia punya teeth tu. This interrupted cutting action subject to the teeth to a cycle of impact force and thermal shock on every rotation. Due to material and cutter geometry must be designed to withstand this collision. Sebab bila ada interrupted ni, maksudnya dalam dia punya satu cycle dia akan mengalami impact force at the same time thermal shock on every rotation. Okay, so if you look at here, this is the basic of milling. Okay, kita ada peripheral milling and face milling. I do believe that in kita yang balik pulang, so you always exposed to the face milling instead of peripheral milling. Tetapi konsep of kita punya spindle, kita ada dua jenis lah, which is satu menegak, satu lagi adalah horizontal. Okay, so they call the horizontal one ni disebut sebagai peripheral milling, and yang menegak ini disebut sebagai face milling. Okay. Okay, what is peripheral milling ataupun horizontal milling? In peripheral milling, called also as a plane milling, the axis of the tool is parallel. Parallel maksudnya selari to the surface being machined, and the operation is performed by cutting edge on the outside periphery of the cutter. Okay, dia akan perform dekat hujung, daripada hujung. Okay, dia makan daripada hujung membawa ke tengah. Okay. Satu lagi kita ada untuk yang peripheral ni, kita ada up milling and down milling. Okay, satu dia ceduk ke atas, satu lagi dia cangkul. Macam gitu. So jom kita tengok, okay, apa itu up and down milling. So over here, okay, so if look at betul-betul kalau you guys tengok merujuk kepada gambar raja yang ada sekarang pada slide ni, you can see the different actually. Okay, look at here. I want to see you. Okay, this one is the direction of the feet. Okay, meanwhile, the rotation of the cutter is berlawanan. So, kalau saya ada satu marker merah ni, saya buat, kita kata, lakarkan. So, pergerakan dia macam gini. Pergerakan cutter, manakala warna biru ni mewakili pergerakan feed. Jadi, apa yang you nampak sini? Kita akan nampak direction itu is opposite. Dalam kita punya up milling, the direction of cutter is opposite to the direction of feed. Maksudnya, direction pergerakan cutter kita ini berlawanan dengan kita punya direction of workpiece bergerak. Okay, so dia lawan satu macam ni, satu macam ni. Macam itu. Okay. Meanwhile for here, so I'm using the same color so that you can see the different over here. Yang ni macam ni juga. Okay, direction of the cutter. Meanwhile, the direction of the feet is, nampak? Okay, you can see it called as a selari ataupun bersama. Okay, which is the direction of the cutter, that's cutter rotation, and the feet direction is kita kata bersama. Okay, which is selari bersama macam itu. Okay, so hanya disebabkan oleh satu is opposite. Okay, up milling tadi opposite, yang down milling tadi is the same direction, so dia membawa kepada efek-efek adalah kepada perbezaan yang ada dalam kita punya table ini. So now is perbezaan antara up milling and down milling. Ini masih di bawah tajuk upper milling, di mana you punya spindle of you punya cutting tu adalah pada keadaan horizontal. Okay, kalau you tengok kat kita balik pulau, benda ni tak ada. Mostly kita gunakan face milling. Nah, okay. So up milling ni juga dikenali sebagai conventional milling, manakala untuk down milling disebut sebagai climb milling. Okay, so obviously untuk up milling, the opposite, the direction of the what we call it, cutter is opposite with the direction of the feet. Okay, meanwhile the direction of the cutter direction is the same with the feet direction in the down milling. Okay, so you can see that. Okay, jadi kesimpulannya, kalau conventional ataupun up milling ni against the feet. Okay, direction of the cutter melawan kepada feet. Yang ni down milling with the feet, dia bersama dengan feet tadi. Okay, so apa kesan dia adalah, you can see over here, apa kesan dia? Kesan dia, okay, cutter tadi dalam up milling, cutter dia akan makan varitin, and kemudiannya because dia melawan, so apa yang berlaku adalah, you can see my hand over here, so cutter dia start kecil, tapi sebab yang ni dia bergerak macam gini, yang ni cutter dia bergerak macam gini kan, dia bergerak macam gini, so dia akan cedok lagi tebal. Sebab yang ni dilawan kan, dia lagi tebal. Start variety and increase in the thickness during the swipe of the cutter. Okay, so apa yang berlaku adalah mata alat kita akan ada engagement. Okay, this has a tendency to leave the work part as the cutter this exit the material. Okay, so dia akan tekan lama sikit lah. So maksudnya the contact between the cutter and the workpiece akan jadi lama, so dia akan menekan kan. So apa yang berlaku adalah tool life kita, jangka hayat mata alat kita akan reduce dalam up milling ni. Tapi kalau dalam down milling, okay, so cutter kita macam gini, feet kita pun macam gini. Okay, feet kita pun macam gini, so dia bersama macam gini kan. Okay, so with the feet, okay, the start up agak tebal, okay, tetapi kemudiannya thickness akan reduce because dia bergerak bersama, dia tak lawan kan, dia bergerak bersama. Jadi cutter is engaged with the workpiece tu agak kurang lah. Okay, sebab dia tak, kalau tadi dia lawan, jadi lama sikit lah engagement dia. This one is tikut sekali, jadi engagement dia tak lama. So menyebabkan kesan dia adalah cutting tool dalam down milling, jangka hayat dia lebih panjang berbanding dengan cutting tool dalam up milling. Okay. Okay, so this is the operation in the peripheral milling lah. Peripheral milling ni kita ada slab milling, kita ada slotting, and then kita ada side milling. Kita ambil makan one end je. Straddle ni kita makan two end. Two end ni kiri kanan macam ni. Okay, kalau slab milling ni you punya cutter, diameter of cutter much more high berbanding dengan kita punya diameter of fork. Okay, the basic form of the peripheral milling. Ini paling standard lah, paling basic lah So the cutter which the cutter width extend beyond the workpiece of the both sided. Jadi awak tengok, oh benda kerja awak dari segi size dia kecil berbanding dengan kita punya mata alat yang digunakan. Okay, kalau yang ni sebagai slotting. Okay, di mana width of kita punya cutter less, kurang daripada kita punya width of kita punya workpiece. Okay, creating a slot. Sebab kita nak hasilkan slot kan, jadi tak perlulah lebar sangat kita punya mata alat kan. So when the cutter is very thin, this operation can be used to make narrow slot to cut or narrow slot of cut work part into called the saw milling. Okay, siang ni untuk side milling ni, dia kata milling machine the side of the workpiece. So dia just makan tepi sajalah. Okay, sampai sini ataupun sini tak kisahlah. Kalau straddle sama seperti side milling, cuma kali ini dia boleh makan kedua-duanya, kiri dan kanan. You can adjust so that kita akan dapat makan kiri dan kanan. Untuk dua-dua mata alat ni makan kiri dan kanan secara serentak. Okay, now habis tentang peripheral milling. Jadi sekarang tadi kita dah tutup cerita tentang bagaimana kita ada spindle dalam keadaan horizontal. Now kita pergi kepada spindle dalam keadaan vertical. Okay, tadi horizontal macam ni. Okay, this is the way spindle awak pegang kita punya mata alat. Okay, kali ni kita akan macam ni, which is spindle awak pegang kita punya mata alat face milling. Okay, in face milling, the axis of the cutter is perpendicular to the surface being milled. Cutter awak macam gini. Okay, cutter awak macam gini. Okay, katakan this one is hari ni adalah you punya cutter face milling cutter. This one is you punya workpiece masuk. Ini masuk perpendicular, so I can create the 90 darjah over here. Tu maksud dia. Okay, so and machining is performed by the cutting edge of the both the end and outside periphery. Okay, so kita tengok dia punya seterusnya. Okay, ini adalah jenis-jenis operasi yang berlaku ataupun dalam kita punya face milling. Kita ada conventional face milling, which is the diameter of the cutter tu lebih besar daripada diameter of the ataupun lebar work part yang kita nak machine, so that the cutter overhang the work of the both sides. So dia makan secara serentak, masa cut terus. Okay, kalau yang kedua ni partial face milling, so dia makan one side sahaja. You want that one side saja. Kalau end milling, less the cutter diameter. The cutter diameter ni, kalau kita tengok kat sini, cutter diameter ni kecil ataupun less than the work with, so a slot is cut into the part. Okay, selain daripada itu, kita juga ada profile. Profile yang biasanya dia akan buat bentuk tepi ni lah. This is a form of end milling in which outside periphery ni the flat cut is the part of a flat part is cut. And this one is pocket milling, obviously, because it can create pocket. So you menggunakan what we call it, end mill juga. Another form of end mill juga. This is used to peel shallow pockets into flat parts. So kita ada flat parts, so kita nak create pocket kat dalam tu. This one is the menggunakan surface contouring milling, menggunakan, kalau tengok cutting yang ni end mill, tapi ini lain sikit. Okay, this one end mill tapi yang ni lain sikit. Tengok bull nose kita, ball nose cutter, radius dan square, and cutter is fat back and forth. The PMI maksud macam ni. So it can cross, akan fat back and forth across the work along a curvilinear path at close interval to create a 3-dimensional surface form. Biasanya kita create the 3-dimensional surface form ni so that kita ada cropping yang lebih kat situ lah. Okay, so habis tentang operasi pada peripheral milling dan juga face milling. Now we go for the milling machine. Okay, so kita ada dua jenis. Milling machine must provide a rotating spindle. Okay, tak kira lah peripheral ke face milling ke macam mana pun spindle mesti rotate. Itu dalam kita punya milling machine. Okay. Di mana spindle yang rotate tadi bukan pegang, kalau dalam tadi rotate untuk pegang part, tetapi dalam milling spindle yang rotate tadi untuk pegang the cutter. Okay. And also it needs table, tempat di mana kita nak letak kita punya benda kerja, untuk kita berikat benda kerja, positionkan kita punya video feeding and the work part. Okay, various machine to design satisfactory requirement. Kita ada two classification of milling machine, which is horizontal and vertical. Okay, so in the horizontal milling machine has a horizontal spindle. In horizontal milling machine has the horizontal spindle. Saya ulang And this design is well suited for the performing horizontal spindle. Ingat, dia buat peripheral milling. Such as kita ada slab milling, slotting, side and straddle tadi. Okay, meanwhile in the vertical milling machine, obviously kita ada vertical spindle and go for the face mill and mill, surface contouring, die sinking or relatively flat work part. Okay. Dan selain daripada spindle orientation, milling machine can be also can be classified into the following types: knee and column, bed type, planer type, tresemme, and CNC milling machine. Okay, so tengok kepada knee and column machine type. Knee and column is the basic machine tool for milling. Dia ada disebut knee and column because of dia ada two main component which called as a column that support the spindle, column to support the spindle. Memang kita ada knee, roughly assembled as human that support the work table. Knee untuk support dia punya meja, work table dia, tempat di mana kita nak letak kita punya benda kerja. Column untuk support kita punya spindle. Okay, so kita akan tengok gambar je lepas ni. In the horizontal version, an arbor usually support the cutter. Okay, kita nak punya gambar macam. Okay, this one is the gambar macam bagi kita punya knee and column. This one is a spindle. You can see this. Horizontal. You can see the spindle in the horizontal form. Meanwhile, this one is the face mill. You can see the spindle in the vertical punya kedudukan. So yang lain tu you nampak macam lebih kurang sama je. So you got the table, you get the table. Tak kira lah sama ada you horizontal ataupun vertical. Still can have in the table. And then kemudian cuma the design over here ni, kalau macam you tengok kat sini, arbor ni digunakan untuk meletakkan kita punya spindle. Okay. Okay, the arbor is basically a shaft that hold the milling cutter and driven by the spindle. Okay, kalau saya ulang, arbor merupakan satu shaft yang akan holding kita punya cutter yang dipandu oleh kita punya spindle. And overarm is provided on the horizontal machine to support the arbor. On the vertical knee and column machine, milling cutter can be mounted directly in the spindle without an arbor. Tapi kalau yang vertical ni tak perlu sebab kita punya spindle terus kita punya cutter terus direct ke spindle, tak perlu ada apa. Tapi bila dalam keadaan yang horizontal macam ni, so because of the spindle is over there jauh, so kita perlukan something to support kita punya cutter, so kita ada apalah. So one of the features of the knee and column milling machine that makes it versatile is the work table feet movement. Okay, so it can move in the X, Y, and Z. Okay, the work table can be moved in the X direction, that the decider can be moved in the Y direction, and the knee can be moved vertically to achieve the Z direction. So P atas, P bawah, so dia akan jadi Z direction. Okay, two special knee and column machine should be identified. Universal milling machine, which has a table that can be swung in the horizontal plane. Okay, this facilitates the cutting of angular shape and helix okay, kita ada rammer, so ada banyak sebenarnya ni. So saya mungkin akan pergi lebih laju. Tool head containing the spindle interlocator is located on the end of the horizontal ram. The ram can be adjusted in and out over the table to locate the cutter. The tool head can be swung to achieve an angular orientation of the cutter with respect to the more versatile for the rammer. Okay, ini adalah contohnya. So kalau you tengok macam ni kan. So the spindle, this one is universal, overarm arbor and cutter are made for clarifying, and this one is the ram type. Okay, this one is the RAM tag, which is RAM boleh adjust tau. Depan, belakang, PM, back and forward. Okay, this one you punya, what we call it, table, boleh atas bawah, so and also S and Y macam kita. Okay, this one kalau you tengok, kita ada rotary table yang boleh berputar, dan kita ada work table over here, can be moved in the X and Y direction and also Z direction. Okay, which is the Z direction ni support by kita punya column lah. Okay, selain daripada itu kita ada bed type milling machine. Tadi knee and column. This one is bed type milling machine. This one is used for the higher production because of a more rigid compared to the knee and column. So kita akan dapat higher feed rates and depth of DOC, depth of cut. Bila higher feed rate, depth of cut bermaksud kita punya kadar kita punya material removal rate tu, okay, material removal rate MRR tu lebih tinggi. Okay, MRR dia lebih tinggi. Okay, so the work table is mounted directly to the back of the machine tool rather than using the less rigid knee type design. This caution limit the possible motion of the table to longitudinal feeding of the work past the milling cutter. The cutter is mounted in the spindle head that can be adjusted vertically along the machine column. So kita ada 3 jenis, simplex, duplex, triplex. Lagi banyak less kat bawah tu, lagi complicated. So this one is the simple one, paling single spindle back machine, available ada horizontal and vertical. Duplex will have 2 spindle. Triplex obviously dia ada 3 spindle. Okay, so saya pergi laju sikit. Ini contoh lah. So single spindle, simplex. This one kita ada 2 triplex, 1, 2 atas, 3, 1, 2, 3 triplex. So selain daripada bed type tadi, kita ada planer, largest milling machine, paling besar. Yang tadi untuk higher production, this one is the lebih besar size of the machine tadi. Very large work part used untuk planer mill are big to machine very large work part. Whatever, and the back of the machine are heavy and relatively to the ground, and milling beds are supported by the bridge structure. So saya lebih laju. Dan yang keempat, kita ada tracer mill untuk profiling milling to reproduce an irregular part geometry that has been created on a template. So kita ada template, so this one is just copy balik, okay, reproduce balik that part geometry, kan, irregular part geometry, using either manual fed by the human operator ataupun automatic fed by the machine tool. A tracing prop is controlled to follow the template, while a milling head duplicate the path taken by the prop to machine the desired shape. This is much complicated. So the tracing mill can provide either the XY tracing atau XYZ tracing. Okay, so yang ni paling famous lah. Kalau dekat college, it's gonna be the something yang semua orang nak guna sebab mudah lah. CNC milling machine. Okay, this machine kata path dia, laluan kata dia dikawal oleh data. Okay, instead of kalau kita compare dengan physical template. So maksudnya you can program ke dia. So from the CAD software, you design part yang benar, and then you convert it into CAM, computer aided machining. So you can go for the simulation first. Sebab by simulation ni you akan tengok, okay, either program yang you tulis itu adalah program yang baik ataupun tak. So kalau ada sebarang error masa simulation tadi, you can detect earlier, dan kemudian you boleh kita kata eliminate the error, do some modification pada you punya writing program, and then kemudiannya boleh buat simulation semula sampailah kita dapat what we call it, satu program yang perfect enough sebelum kita pergi ke running machine properly lah. Okay, so macam first ayat tadi kata part is controlled by data. So kita programkan supaya pergerakan mata alat tu bergerak dalam arahan yang sepatutnya lah. Okay, so suit for the profile milling, pocket milling, surface contouring and dancing operation. 2 or 3 axes of the work table must be simultaneous control to achieve the required cutter pass. Okay, maksud kita ada pergerakan paksi of the work table tadi, so that kita dapat arahkan ke mana laluan cutter tu tunggulah. Okay, and operator normally required to change the cutter as well as load and unload work part. Okay, so kalau kita menggunakan kalau let's say that you got the engineer to write the program, install the program, so as a machinist, apa yang kita buat adalah kita change the cutter and also the masa kita nak set workpiece to the table. Okay, this is the example figure. Okay, numbering figure ni mungkin boleh diabaikan lah, mungkin ada berubah sebab kita dah ubah dia punya nota, some sort of note tu dah berubah, but somehow dari segi information kat sini is you can refer lah. Operation of Milton Center, example a part A itu menunjukkan gambar rajah, part with turn and mill. Okay, with turn and mill and drill. Okay, surface and B. Okay, this one is A kan. Okay, the B. This one is the hasil akhir dia lah, hasil akhir dia. Senang cerita, ini adalah hasil akhir dia, di mana part ini telah mengalami proses of turning first and then mill. Okay, mill, and then kemudian you got the drill over here and finish lah, and then you got the butt slotting over here ni kan. Macam gitu. Sebab kita nak buang yang belakang tu lah, nak bagi pendek sikit kan. So over here, sequence of the operation of the mill turning center. Maksudnya dekat center tu kita boleh buat milling, kita boleh buat turning bersekali, and drilling also. Tapi tak terkejut lah kan, sebab drilling memang boleh buat kat turning, boleh kat milling, boleh kan, tak ada issue. Tapi is that turning boleh buat, boleh, tak ada masalah. Okay, boleh ya. So tapi dengan syarat, kalau kita tengok kat sini, the cutter is dipegang atau kita dipegang pada what we call it, sorry. So over here you can see the over here you can see the first. Okay, yang ni buat pada turning punya machine lah. So first kita buat turning dulu. Okay, turn second diameter, and number 2 mill flat with part in program angular position. So yang ni kita nak dapatkan flat surface here, and then guna drilling, drill hole with part in the same program position, and last sekali cut off, kita potong lah. Okay, untuk kita dapatkan size yang kita nak. So complete kita. And I think that's all for this video. See you in the next video. Thank you and bye.